Good morning. How are y'all doing? Uh, we're finally back in the office, and I've got my Creekwood bowling shirt on today because our first match is next Monday. What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about Vols. Y'all know that. We're going to talk about Braves. Y'all know that. And then the third take, I wanted to talk about Devontae Adams and some of the other stuff that's been happening. I've got some other stuff I'd like to say about him and other things just in general. But fourth take is going to be high school sports as per usual because that's the best take. So let's get on into it. Like I said, first take, we're going to talk balls. And let me go ahead by saying this. I've been practicing and I've been thinking and I've been wondering exactly what I was going to say. But I think I figured it out. Tennessee plays Alabama on Saturday. They have not beaten the University of Alabama in football since 2006. That's a long time ago. I've spent over half of my life not witnessing a Tennessee win over Alabama in football. And the last time we were close, I believe it was 2009, and Terrence Cody, Mount Cody, blocked like 8 field goals that game. I think it was 3, but I'm being dramatic. Here's the thing for me. Tennessee might lose Saturday. I actually think they're going to win, but every one of you know I'm biased, so either way, that's not the point. I do think Tennessee's going to win, but this is the first time in a long time that I've been able to say that, and I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm being an idiot. I don't feel like I'm ahead of myself. And don't get me wrong, Alabama is still a good football team. Whether or not Bryce Young plays, Alabama is still a really, really good football team. Nick Saban is still the best college football coach, at least of my lifetime. I think there is a chance Tennessee could lose. But what's hard to really explain and the thoughts that are going through my head is the fact that I can finally say I feel like Tennessee's going to beat Alabama. And that's a huge step up from where Tennessee's been. I felt like they were going to beat Florida. I felt like they should beat Florida. I was afraid that they would be cursed, and they almost were because Anthony Richardson, Lord knows, he tried to come back there at the end. And then I felt like they would beat LSU, and they did that. They swamped LSU. But this Tennessee team has finally given me a little bit of confidence. And like I said, they might lose Saturday. You know why? Because Alabama is a very good football team. But I don't think they're going to lose because of their own ineptitude, which is new and is different. And as a Tennessee fan, I finally have something to be confident in, especially football-wise. Alabama's going to be a hard game to win. Georgia's going to be a hard game to win. Other than that, I feel like Tennessee should completely run everybody else off the field. To be fair, Kentucky's not that good. Missouri played a few games pretty close. Like they played the Georgia game pretty close. I don't know if y'all can hear the train going by, but it's like sound effects. Just act like this is a Michael Bay movie. It's great. But other than like Missouri should get trashed, South Carolina should get absolutely just worked. Tennessee should put up 80 points on Vanderbilt. UT Martin's probably going to be the best game Tennessee plays for the rest of the year, other than Alabama and Georgia. That's just me talking crap to the other SEC teams. But I finally have a team I can be confident in, and I think that's a huge step for me as personally as a fan. And a lot of Tennessee fans are talking about how, the talent's going to drop off after this year. Yeah, Tillman's going to be gone. McCoy's probably going to be gone. Hendon Hooker be gone. A few of the offensive linemen be gone. But guess what? Tennessee Volunteers, they got about like 16 recruits coming in, including like 4 or 5 5-star recruits. And 3 of them are on the defensive line. Sign me up, buddy. I want every one of them defensive linemen. Now, y'all know I love sacks. I'm excited to see what's going to happen Saturday. I think Tennessee can beat Alabama. And that's my whole thing. of course, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter if they lose. I'm not going to say I don't care. I do care, and I think Tennessee will win. And I'm going to be heartbroken if they lost. But there's a whole different mindset from Tennessee fans right now, and you can see it on Twitter, you can see it on Facebook. You've got a group of people that, I mean, yeah, you're always going to have people talk trash. We've had people that talk trash for the last 15 years, even though they weren't very good. There's going to be a few more people that talk trash. There's going to be a few more reasons why people don't like Tennessee fans, and that's okay. I don't really care about any of that. But as a Tennessee fan, I am finally confident. I'm confident that the product on the field is going to be really good. Like I said, they might lose, but I don't think they're going to lose 47-3 at home like some of those other teams did. I mean, I made that score up. It may not have been that bad, but you get my point. If any of you have seen the Tennessee-Alabama game over the last 15 years, it was Tennessee getting smacked upside the head. And I just don't think that's going to happen Saturday. Like I said, I think Tennessee could lose. I don't think they're going to. So, man, I could keep talking about that all day, but we've only got like a 30-minute show here, so I can't go too crazy. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to hit our first commercial. When we get back, we do have to talk a lot of Braves stuff real quick. But before we do that, Casey's Take is brought to you by DMA Orthopedics and Dr. Anthony Tropiano. Dr. Anthony Tropiano provides patients with prompt, effective treatment using the best technology available and in a manner that is compassionate and understanding of their needs. Dr. Tropiano is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon. Call 615-441-4522 today. That's 615-441-4522. Let's go to a commercial and y'all come right back.
Here at Dixon Medical Associates, we've got you covered from neck to toe. Our orthopedics team offers services in sports medicine, foot and ankle reconstruction, spinal surgery, and more. We also have in-house imaging and physical therapy. Dixon Medical Associates. We specialize in what moves you.
All right, we're going to talk Braves, and as of right now, it is my watch is dead. I don't even know why I put it on, but as of right now, Braves and Phillies are tied 1-1. Braves lost the first game, and here's the thing too. I love Max Fried. I would go to war for Max Fried, but he wasn't very good the other day, and he didn't make a whole lot of excuses either. He kind of knew he pitched like doo-doo, and he said he pitched like doo-doo, and Braves still tried to come back and win that game. Of course, last night, Kyle Wright, who has just been phenomenal since the season started. I'm so happy for that kid. I know he's a Vanderbilt guy, but listen, all right, we got the Braves stuff on today, okay? We're big Braves fans around here. I know he went to Vanderbilt, but so did the shortstop that hit 20-something homers and knocked in 80-something, 90-something RBIs this year and made a great play last night. Kyle Wright pitched his butt off. I kind of wanted to see him back out there in the seventh inning, but hey, A.J. Minter came in, did his job. Raisel Iglesias, who was the biggest – I don't want to say biggest. There's a different word for this, but his picking him up at the trade deadline for like a bag of cashews and a box of Gatorade or whatever else we gave for him. I do that a lot. I'm sorry. I don't mean to do that. Whatever else the Braves gave up for him, it wasn't a whole lot. The Braves got Raisel Iglesias. I'm too redneck to say his name correctly, and I apologize to him only. I don't care what the rest of y'all think, but I feel bad for him. I wish I got his name right, as if he's going to watch my show. But he came in, shut the door. Kenley Jansen came in. I love he struck out Bryce Harper on a neck high cutter. All that was wonderful. Like I said, they're tied up 1-1. Give the Phillies a little bit of credit for some fight. Here's the thing, though, and this is what I was talking about a minute ago. Max, I love Max. I really do. But other than like 2 or 3 starts in the postseason, he's had a little bit of issues. And the only reason I bring that up is because Kyle Wright was nuts last night. They're hoping they get Strider back. I don't know if they're going to get Strider back, but I could see Spencer Strider playing that Madison Bumgarner, Andrew Miller role. A few of the playoffs, you've seen these guys that they'll start, they'll pitch as long as they can, or you can bring them in the fifth inning. I'm gonna tell you right now, if Kyle Wright or Max Fried or Charlie Morton or any of these other guys, if they go out there and they pitch, maybe they throw 80-something pitches in 4 or 5 innings, but they don't give up nothing. Braves only got 1 run. You can bring in Spencer Strider in the 6th inning, 5th inning, let him shut that thing out. That kid is nuts. 100, it's unhittable. I don't think it matters if he throws anything else. He's working on a changeup. Of course, he's got the slider. The slider is disgusting, but he can just throw the fastball all day long and he'd be fine. It's borderline unhittable. Hope he kind of gets healthy, but I just found a new button on my computer. I'm sorry. I was playing with it for a second. I didn't even know that was there. But I'm sorry. It's early in the morning. My brain, it doesn't work correctly. But the Braves, I think that they're in a pretty good spot. At that first game, you hate losing game 1, especially at home, but Max wasn't great. And other than the few starts, like I said, he's had in the postseason where he was really good. He's been kind of average as a postseason pitcher. But I hate the fact that the Braves gave Charlie Milton $20 million more because it seems like it takes him longer and longer to get set up as the season goes on, the older he gets. But I think he is kind of in his rhythm now. Let's hope he doesn't take a comebacker off the foot again or whatever and break his leg like he did last year. I'd love to see him stay healthy throughout the entirety of the playoffs. It wasn't that big of a deal last year because the Braves did wind up winning the whole thing. But it certainly bothered me when it happened. But hopefully the offense can get hot again. Matt Olson's been pretty good the last 10 games or so. ESPN or Fox or whoever it was, they kept popping up his stats over how he'd been playing the last week. I think he had like 7 homers in the last 10 games, and he's hitting 400. And so that's good to see. Ronnie hit a rocket last night. The other way, good signs again. I think the Braves are going to be okay. And here's the thing. This is going to sound really petty and probably ridiculous to some of you. Winning back-to-back World Series titles would mean the world to me. I've got a Braves hat on. I've got the jewelry. I love the Atlanta Braves. I really do. Winning back-to-back World Series would absolutely just put me over the moon. But let's say, the Phillies put up a good fight, but ultimately they lose in 4 or 5 games. And then, the Dodgers take down the Padres. Braves lose to the Dodgers or whatever in a 7-game series. I'm not going to be that heartbroken. I'm not going to be that upset. You want to know why? Because the Mets are still out. The Mets are gone. The Braves took the division crown from them. That's still hilarious to me. I mean, we more or less, I did it again. The Braves more or less just took the Mets' heart and they did that whole washcloth thing and just it's dry. There's nothing else. They took everything the Mets had and it wasn't enough. It makes me so happy. So the Braves may not win the World Series this year. And I don't think I'm going to get my feelings hurt over it. I got everything else I kind of wanted out of the year, except for Mike Soroka. I wanted to see Mike Soroka pitch, but he's still hurt. Hopefully, please, God, let him be healthy going into next year. Because I'm going to tell you, a pitching rotation with Jacob deGrom, Spencer Strider, Max Fried, some of these other guys, and Mike Soroka, go ahead and give me another division crown. Make it 6. Anyway, that's enough for the Braves. I talked way too long about that, but I had to. So I don't have to, but I wanted to, and that's how that works. Third take, Devontae Adams. I'm going to make this quick. I'm going to make it really quick. This is what I told a few friends of mine the other night. I personally kind of feel bad for I kind of feel bad for Devontae Adams. And I know you may be thinking, oh, that's kind of crazy. Just hear me out. We've never seen Devontae Adams do anything like that. If some of you don't know what I'm talking about, he pushed a cameraman coming off the field against the Chiefs last week. Him and Hunter Renfrow ran into each other. It was a very frustrating moment for him. It wasn't a cameraman, but it was the dude that holds that big dome looking thing. I'm not a photographer guy, so I don't know what to tell you what it is. It may be like a mic thing. I don't know. Anyway, he pushed that guy out of the way. I think you should go see it on Twitter. I don't. The guy charged him. It's less than misdemeanor. I almost said misdemeanor. It's less than a misdemeanor. It's a county charge. I don't know. There's like 1,800 different headlines on this, so I don't know exactly what's going on, but he has been charged with some sort of assault. And I kind of feel bad for Devontae Adams because he is being portrayed as a truly awful human being. And this is the first time we've ever seen him do something like that. It was a very frustrating moment. It was not okay. Now, the other issue I do have with Devontae Adams is the Twitter apology. The Twitter apology is to save face. That's for publicity. That's because your manager tells you need to tweet that out. Now, I don't know if Devontae Adams did this, but this is what he should have done. He should have went and found that man as soon as the game was over, talk to him, actually tell him you're sorry. I don't know if that did or didn't happen, but Devontae Adams is being painted as a truly, horrible human being, and he made a really bad mistake, but he pushed a guy over. I punched a bowling ball last night. You see people get mad. I don't understand. I don't understand. None of you are perfect. I'm not perfect. Devontae Adams made a mistake, and he may have to pay the $250 fine, or God forbid, whatever it is. I don't know. But I don't think Devontae Adams, I keep saying, I don't know why I'm saying that. I've never said that before. Devontae Adams, I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he made an awful decision or whatever happened, to get out of Green Bay. I think he should have stayed in Green Bay because Aaron Rodgers made him look a lot better than Derek Carr does. But I don't think Devontae Adams is a bad guy. I think he had a moment where he made a mistake. I know that all of us make mistakes. There was only one of us that was perfect, and we killed him. So I don't think Devontae Adams is that bad of a guy. Like I said, I know he made a mistake. Now, I don't like the Twitter apology. I don't care much for public apologies. You want to be a real man, or sometimes women make mistakes too. If people make a mistake, go apologize in person. And he may have done that. I'm not saying he didn't, but the Twitter apologies are just over the top. I don't really care about that. But somebody else brought this up. RG3, Robert Griffin III. If you don't follow him on Twitter, you really should, because he says some things that are borderline inappropriate, but they're funny. That's why I like it. But then other times, he says some stuff that I really agree with. And he talks about Hendon Hooker a lot too, which I think a lot of people are starting to do that. But that's beside the point. Robert Griffin III said a few days ago, he said, yeah, Devontae Adams made a mistake. There's somebody else that hit somebody. There's another. I can't think of it. It's too early in the morning. I needed coffee. I guess I don't even drink coffee. But there wasn't another issue with somebody else doing something, and I saw it, and I can't think of it. But this is what RG3 said. He said that there's not a whole lot of talk about Brett Favre as compared to some of these other issues. And you start thinking about it, it's like, man, that's what Brett Favre did was disgusting. I may be wrong. It's at least a few $1 million. I think I read somewhere it may have been $5 million. Text messages between him and the Mississippi governor or whatever about millions of dollars to go towards a volleyball court. And now here's the deal. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of money invested in sports all over the country. That's not the problem. We need sports God knows, between all the crap that happens on this planet, we need sports because something's got to make somebody happy. Nobody's ever happy. At least sports make a few people happy. But when you take millions of dollars out of welfare, out of Mississippi, which is one of the poorest states in the entire country, I've got family down there. They are blessed. They are blessed to have been put in pretty good situations, worked really hard to put themselves in great situations. But there are a lot of people that are not that blessed in Mississippi. If you've never been there, it's almost like a different world sometimes, because you'll be driving through and you'll see a bunch of really nice houses on the countryside and people's got farms. And then you get on the other side of town and you can see there's folks that are really struggling. And when you take millions of dollars out of welfare to build a volleyball court for your daughter, when you yourself, you run around with these Gold Band commercials and Viagra commercials, what else? You had your own money, Brett, and that was disgusting. That's truly disgusting. That's an evil human being. Davante Adams is not an evil human being. Don't paint him like that. I feel bad for him. Yeah, I'm kind of aggravated that he did the Twitter apology. And I'm talking way too long about this, but I'm not going to stop for a whole second. But let's pump the brakes on Davante Adams, all this other stuff. I don't think he's that bad of a guy. Brett Favre, on the other hand, when I was younger, I didn't think he was that bad of a guy. But then again, you get older, you start to see more stuff. You start to see all this news about text messages between him and things that he did with massage therapists. And Brett Favre had a lot of issues. So when you sit here and you look at this situation and he tries to tell you that, he didn't know what this or that, whatever. No, he's lying. Brett Favre's not a good person. This is more than one instance. This is a few instances now where we've seen that Brett Favre is not a good person and stealing millions from the poorest people in the poorest state. I'm hollering into this mic. I know I keep going every time, but it's all right. I like it. It's my mic. I'll yell at it if I want. Brett Favre stealing millions from the poorest people in one of the poorest states in America should be one of the biggest sports news things going on right now. And quite frankly, y'all remember a few years ago when all this steroids, more than a few years ago, when all this steroid stuff was going on in baseball and the MLB went out and got congressmen so they could, congressmen and senators were actually wasting their time talking about baseball and steroid use in baseball. They were actually doing that. If since they're not going to get anything else done in Washington, D.C., we might as well send Brett Favre and this whole deal down there. Maybe somebody can talk about it, get him thrown in jail along with whoever the Mississippi governor, state representative, whoever it was that was in the pocket with all this other crap too. Everybody in bed together should be thrown out the door. That's disgusting. That truly is disgusting. That's evil. So before you try and put Davante Adams to the fire, just understand. I don't think Davante Adams has had any other issues. I may be wrong there, and if I'm wrong, tell me, whatever, at CVP51 on Twitter. But man, that's a lot. I thank God I don't have a lot of high school sports to talk about. We're gonna get to our next commercial. We ain't got a whole lot of time. We're gonna get to our next commercial. We'll come back. I'm gonna do my DMA read again, and then we're gonna talk a little bit of high school sports. So y'all stay right here with us.
At Dixon Medical Associates, your health is our number one priority. With over 40 providers, our goal is to bring excellent, convenient, and comprehensive medical care to our community. Dixon Medical Associates, a destination for care.
And now don't y'all forget, Casey's Take is brought to you by DMA Orthopedics and Dr. Anthony Tropiano. Dr. Anthony Tropiano provides patients with prompt, effective treatment using the best technology available and in a manner that is compassionate and understanding of their needs. Dr. Tropiano is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon. Call 615-441-4522 today. That's 615-441-4522. And one other thing I just noticed real quick, this is funny. The number that I give y'all and the number on the commercial are two different numbers, but here's the thing. It's DMA. They've got at least 5,000 phones between all those hospitals you can call. You can probably just pick a random number and you might get connected to a hospital. But just get that number, get my number, whatever you want. Make sure you reach out to DMA if you need anything. Now, I've got about what looks like 2 minutes, and I got to make this quick. All the Cheatham schools, are off for football this week. None of the football teams are playing. Let's see. Sycamore and Cheatham played last week. A heck of a football game. I had a lot of fun at that game. That was one of the best games I've watched in a long time, as far as just, a lot of back and forth. Sycamore scored the first touchdown. Cheatham scored the second touchdown and went for 2. And then this, that, and the other. Cheatham led for a long time. Sycamore come back at the end. Sycamore won 17-14. The only bad part was, and I can't confirm anything that was said except for one sentence. There was a little scuffle at the end of the game. I was told by some people that there was a comment made about somebody else, a comment that should not have been made. I cannot confirm that comment was made. I didn't hear that. I only heard one sentence out of one young man's mouth, and that was, "What did you say?" And that was the only thing I heard, and I turned around, and there was one young man for Cheatham that was extremely upset. And if what I heard was said, I understand why he was upset. I did my best. I was still on the field, and that one young man from Cheatham was in a crowd of about 12 to 15 Sycamore students, athletes, and coaches. Nobody was throwing a punch with him, but he didn't need to be in that situation. I tried to do my best. The other people tried to do their best to try to get him to calm down. But like I said, if what I was told was said, I understand exactly why he was mad, but I can't confirm anything that was said or wasn't said. But what I can confirm is that was an awful ending to an otherwise fantastic football game. And let's be really honest. The last few years has been kind of rough on some of the Cheatham schools. So, the fact that you had two really, really good ball teams to get out there and play really hard for what was a playoff spot. It was a heck of a football game. I'm running out of time here. That's all I needed to say that about that. I don't know exactly what everything was said. Thank God. I don't know if anybody's been suspended, but I don't think anybody should be. There were a few people that there was a lady put in handcuffs and some other issues, but I got out of there. I ran out of there before anything got too crazy. I'm already over time, but Harpeth lost to Watertown last week pretty bad. Dixon was off. Creekwood beat Greenbrier pretty good. Creekwood's playing Thursday night. That's later tonight. I'll be there. Creekwood bowling starts in a few weeks. Creekwood volleyball just won district region. Dixon won district in volleyball. Came runner up in region, so they'll be on the road for sectional. Harpeth won their region in volleyball. All kinds of stuff going on. I got to wrap this up. Thank y'all for hanging out with me today. Hopefully next week I won't talk so much about all the other stuff and I can get to more high school sports stuff. But thank God some of the teams are off, so it wasn't too bad. But thank y'all for hanging out with me. Like I said, follow me on Twitter at CVP501. You got anything you want to tell me? Y'all have a wonderful evening, and go Vols.